Okay, it's 6:30 on December 15th, 2025. The December board meeting for the River Plantation Municipal Utility District is underway. And the first part of the agenda is to approve the minutes of the last meeting. If anybody has any comments about the minutes.
Look good to me.
Yep.
If there's no comments, I move we accept the minutes.
Second
All in favor?
Aye.
that.
Okay, takes care of that. Second item, to receive comments from the public. There are no comments from the public, as there is no public here this evening. So we'll waive that. Financial and bookkeeping.
All right, everyone. Good to see you guys. I
You
hope y'all
too.
miss me.
Welcome back.
We left off in your general operating fund at $42,219. Transferred from your online account $76,000 and from your Texas class account $25,000 to cover today's expenses. We made payment to Centerpoint for your utilities, have bank service charges listed. We issued your blank check to Arthur Gallagher. You guys went back and forth last meeting about which one y'all wanted to pick for insurance. I had blank checks for both of them at the last meeting. I called Julie and confirmed that y'all went with Arthur Gallagher, so we released this check. Today for y'all's approval, we have Alpha Lawn for your lawn services, Centerpoint and Energy, J&K for dead tree removal, your bookkeeping fees for the month, your monthly lake management fees for Lake Pro, Montgomery Central Appraisal District, your quarterly fees there, maintenance and operations for November, IT admin fees for prepared publications, your joint drainage and STP billing, legal fees, synaptic integration fees. There's that TCEQ. We've got two invoices on that one, the water permit fee and then stormwater permit fee. Touchstone for the emergency system, your engineering fees for the month, a handful of refunds, and that leaves your balance at $6,142,000 in your checking account. Your next page, your online account. Accounts receivable coming in at $81,000. We've got a transfer over to your general operating fund, customer returned NSF items, and just as a reminder to you guys, it's not NSF on y'all's account, it's people that are paying into your account that are negative on their side. Including your Texas class account, we're at $1,380,000. Your tax account, tax collections coming in at $63,000. You'll start to see this account really pick up in the next few months. We've got a transfer over to your general operating fund and your debt service fund. Ending balance of just under $46,000. We are 5.92% collected as of November 30th. So, like I said, you're gonna have the bulk of this normally coming in the month of December or the month of January. So you'll see a lot of the money coming in on your next few reports. Your next page, your capital projects fund. Received in accounts receivable from your East Plantation participant. Then we've got a transfer from your capital projects fund, your Texas class account. Under checks previously approved, we have C3 Constructors. This is pay app number 9 for the wastewater treatment facility rehab phase 1. And then today we have C3 Constructors for that pay app number 10. All the engineering fees for the month, and then infrastructure construction services pay app number 1, and this is the emergency slope pavement repair. It's a mouthful. Including your investment account, we are at $6,755,000. Your debt service fund, transferring taxes over, earned interest on the account brings us to $1,021,000. We're already set to go on that debt service payment due in March. Your next page, your sewer treatment plant fund, received in payment from both participants. We've got a bank service charge listed, still holding on to your 2 blanks. We're just meeting a little early, as you guys know, this month. Today, for y'all's approval, we've got bookkeeping fees, your engineering fees, energy, GFL environmental, MOC, and then Republic Services. Ending balance is left off at a negative, but once you've got that money coming over from the participants, it'll cover these checks. Your joint drainage fund, same idea here. Accounts receivable in from both participants, holding on to that energy check. We are issuing a check to Energy. So the reason we do blanks, and this is just a reminder to you guys, I know y'all are used to this process, but if the check or if the invoice comes in time for me to pay it at the meeting, then I'll pay it at the meeting. If it's going to be too close or if it doesn't come in time, then we do the blank checks. That's to keep it from being a late fee or, some kind of problem with the service. So today we've got that energy check, ICS infrastructure, this is East Plantation Ditch quarterly channel maintenance, bookkeeping fees for the month, and then engineering fees. Again, we're left off a bit negative, but once we have the money in from the participants, then it'll flip around. Your next page is your profit and loss for the month of November. If we're looking at the middle column there, we're looking at October and November, so a very short time in your year. About midway down your first page there, you'll see interest collected so far, $9,731. This is just the general operating fund, so we're still doing pretty good on interest. Total income overall for the first 2 months is $219,000. Your water and sewer expenses bring us on to the next page. All of your administrative fees are listed there. Your ending balance is left off at a net negative right now, the minus 19,000. That will flip around once you've got maintenance taxes coming in. Your next page is your profit and loss for your STP account. The zeros across the bottom show that we've built everything out to your participants. And then your last page is your joint drainage fund P&L, so zeros across the bottom shows we've built everything out. I have one extra check that's not on my report for the office cleaning, and then that's everything.
Very good. Any questions or comments?
Nope.
Okay,
I make a motion, we accept the minutes of the accounting as read, and we authorize the checks for payment.
okay, I get a second?
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Takes care of that, thank you, Tiffany. Next item up for discussion, park maintenance matters.
Which way?
There's been some work done in the park. J and K has gone in and cleaned up a lot of the debris and a lot of the branches that were laying around inside Charleston. So he took care of that in the month of November, and he's gonna be on a monthly pattern of doing that as we go along, and as well as cutting down trees that still need to be cut down. There's still a quantity of trees that we need to remove, so he's gonna be taking care of that. Along with other issues in the park, we had the opportunity for those park benches that we've already discussed for Mr. Gandy. And I met with Mr. Gandy over the weekend. He is very eager and wants to make a donation to build a butterfly park within Charleston. He wants to build it on the fairway of number 6, which is west of Braxton Bragg. He wants to build it there and include landscaping and a gazebo to dedicate to his late wife. He wants to build that, and it's a large dollar amount that he's looking to donate. And I wanted to discuss it with everybody. I don't have any pictures or a drawing yet. He was gonna try and get something to me by today, but nothing happened. So I don't have anything to show you other than verbally tell you what we talked about at our meeting the other day. So any questions or comments about potential butterfly park in the middle of Charleston?
So he would pay for it to be built, but then it would be up to us to provide maintenance, maintaining it and on into the future. So
That's correct.
There would be a cost to us going forward.
Probably there would be some maintenance cost involved. He's looking to install electrical and water. The water for irrigating the plants that he wants to plant in there, and the electricity for the lighting within the gazebo and outside the gazebo. He would be willing to cover those expenses.
Would he be willing to set up some type of a maintenance program?
That's possible, we didn't discuss that, but that's possible. One of the things he also wants to do is, he wants parking. He wants at least 4 parking spots, for visitors that would be there to, allow them to not be parking on the grass. He wants to have a parking lot. And I know that goes against our rules.
Why
So-
couldn't they park in where our gazebo
Walk.
That's a long walk.
is? Well, you talking about building a road over to that pad?
No, he's talking about putting it at the edge of Braxton Bragg, and people walk from Braxton Bragg up the,
Down to where that concrete pad was, where the restrooms used to be.
no, he doesn't want to have anything to do with the concrete pad. It's not gonna be anywhere near there. He wants it to be more centrally located to where, it can be seen and enjoyed rather than hidden over. He thinks it's gonna be hidden away over in the concrete pad.
Because of the trees and everything, I guess. In the center.
Not so much that as it's also not as big as he wants it to be. He wants something to be bigger.
It seems like a strange place to put another gazebo, because the current gazebo that's there is basically on that same hole.
I was thinking the same thing.
We got-
Location.
We got 8 other holes all over. Put another gazebo, if we're gonna put a gazebo up, it doesn't make sense to put them right next to each other.
His intention is that he likes the view. When you stand up on the top of that hill that's there and you look down the fairway, he likes that view. He doesn't like the freeway in the background, but there's nothing we can do about blocking the view of the freeway.
Would he consider moving it up to like number 9 or something?
I don't know. Which one is number 9? Is that by the
It's
pool?
by the-
Right next to the
courthouse.
pool.
Okay.
So Mark could look at it out his back door.
I'm not sure.
I mean, it would make more sense if you're gonna build another one.
Or even 3 or 4 way over
It
there.
needs to be further away. If we're gonna even allow it, it needs to be totally away from the existing.
Yeah.
You could actually put it on number 1 as well, and we already have parking spaces over there.
Where's number 1?
Parking.
It's
Oh, yeah,
behind the
that's
pool
right.
that comes down the drive there.
Oh, it runs parallel with the parking spaces.
Right there by Durham.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to consider, any sort of concrete or structure is gonna be considered impervious cover, and he's gonna have to get all the necessary county and agency approvals.
Gotcha.
That is, majority of that property is floodplain land.
Yeah, right.
Which may even require mitigation, so it's not as easy as
No.
just sticking a gazebo out there. There's probably
Which one are we talking about? Any of it?
majority of the property, I mean, without looking at the map, if you're going towards one, that's probably the closest you're gonna get to getting outside the floodplain. But most of that, a good portion of that's in
One's
the
outside the floodplain. isn't it?
100-year, and a lot of it's in the 500-year, some of it's in the floodway, so, especially as you get closer to Stewart Creek, so it's not going to be as straightforward as build gazebo.
Right, okay.
So,
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
just something to consider.
that's what we need to do, is discuss this and percolate all the issues that would come up, and that's a good one.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't be allowed to, without permits and what have you,
Without
he wouldn't be
permits and-
allowed to just put up a
And it would
parking lot.
probably need to be offset with some sort of detention mitigation. You know, you kind of have to remove dirt to put impervious cover.
To make up for what
To
would
make
be
up
loss
for-
of
for loss of
absorption.
Absorption.
Okay,
And that area is gonna be 1-to-1, so, you know, if you take up an acre, you need 1 foot at an acre deep.
Whereas if we just focused on the butterfly area, then.
That would be just kind of planting flowers,
Yeah,
you know,
and
flowers and
be
fences.
designated as.
Right, and you could even do some, you know, if you were gonna do like a crushed gravel bed, that wouldn't raise any red flags.
And then have the benches strategically placed to where you could sit there and enjoy that.
any sort of structure with pavement is gonna cause
Okay.
some exterior issues.
But we wouldn't need permission for just a pad for a bench, right?
No, that's way
Or a
under,
minimum size, or
Yeah.
a minimum size.
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I think, based on the discussion that I had with him the other day, he's under the impression that these rules that we have were government rules, and not just mud rules. And when he found out that these were just mud rules that we had, about the things that we would allow and not allow, you know, no motor vehicles on there other than golf carts, things like that. He was more concerned with trying to convince us that we need to adjust our rules, than changing government rules.
It's their government anyway.
Yeah,
I-
we're a government.
That's true, and I tried to explain that to him, that, you know, we are a government entity, and so our rules are rules, so.
I will continue to always have concern if it's any infrastructure that would take up space that would help handle water flow and so forth, and then it starts bringing in more traffic. Now, you know, of course, he's now interested in having a parking lot, so that's another concern. That's another surfaced area that takes away from the green space. So those are, certainly any vegetation, I think, is exciting, you know, you could focus on that, some extra water features, none of that affects the concern of flood mitigation. But anything that takes up, where groundwater can be absorbed, I'll be concerned about it.
And I'm also concerned about the ability of a customer to come in and suggest that we build something on his behalf or with him, and then next year somebody else comes along and wants to put in a playground or something like that within the green space, and then we're constantly being beholden to somebody that wants to make a donation.
Yeah, it's tempting because of the donation concept, but we still have to be concerned about, you know, the space that we have responsibility of now, and what's best for the whole community, taking care of what we have now.
Right. Tom, your thoughts?
I'll give you a couple. I'm like him, but putting it down on number 6, as far as the pavilion, doesn't make sense, we already have one. You know, now, butterflies, I've been wanting to do a butterfly thing anyway. I always had the idea we could, like, if you took number 6's green and turned that into a butterfly field or whatever you call it, and put your benches down around that without the pavilion, you'd still have the view, you'd have the butterflies, and you'd have the pond. All
I
right.
think it would make more sense to do it on number 9, because they already have a parking lot there,
Yeah.
by the pool.
Well,
so
number
it's-
1
Or-
would be by the parking lot. If you put it on 9, they have to park on 1 and walk up past the pool to get to it.
Yeah,
So one would be the logical if you're trying to keep the parking base close to it.
on 1T rather than 1 green.
Yeah.
But close to the pool, I like that, because then you have an activity area rather than.
Yeah, but you won't be able to see the nice drop view.
No, and I think that would preclude him from following through with his donation, because he's pretty firm on where he wants to put it.
Okay,
So-
well, in that case, then we might be pretty firm as well.
Okay,
I think-
so is this something we want to,
I think you should come to a meeting and just address the whole board.
okay? So we want to table it for a month, and I'll tell him that he can come to the next meeting, and
I think that makes more sense.
now, he's 100 years old, so it's not going to be,
He's not that old, is he?
that's what he told me. But he does have his architect and landscape designer that was with him that would probably attend the meeting
Great.
and do that.
If we're going to invite him to come, which he's always welcome, right? But if we say, well, we'd like to hear the presentation in person, we would need to, I think it'd be best to set his expectations and go ahead and share all of our concerns and that we're really not leaning towards some kind of structure. At least that's what I think, you know, because it might lead him to believe that, oh, okay, I just need to present it and we're gonna be good to go, right? But I wouldn't want him to come with that in mind, then he hears us talk
He
about it.
already has a history of doing some of these kind of things like that. He's done one over on Jubal Early. He took part of a park and made it out the way he wanted it, which is CIA stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you look in front of his new house that he built, he took about a quarter of the park in front of it and planted grass and flowers and water and all that stuff. And I think he had CIA approval, I guess.
Okay,
I don't know, but he's got a history of doing things like that, and he got to meet, I mean, he got good ideas, but
Mhm.
I'm like you, I think putting another gazebo by our gazebo.
Well, but you know, that was my first thought, like Carl said, but then just putting it anywhere, I think is still a concern, no matter where it is, if it's on the green space, it's a structure, and then he's wanting, parking to go along with it, so all that is a concern, no matter where it is. But it's even more of a concern if it's already near the
That's why
existing
I say
gazebo.
that's why I say number one, because that, we already
But
have.
see, that's
the
making
park.
it sound like that you're in favor of a gazebo as long as it's somewhere else. And I'm not really in favor of any kind of structure.
I don't
like that.
have an opposition to it per se, as long as it's not down there. But I
Well,
understand
I'm
what
thinking
you're
of
saying.
flood mitigation and so forth. And then, like what Tim said, it might create things that, yes. Precedents.
okay.
I would
Which
doubt, I don't think that, number 1T would be in the flood zone.
Oh, I think you're right. I don't think that's a flood danger.
It's not safe, it was nowhere near Harvey, so.
Right, right.
I'm looking at that before we come up with. What's the area
Okay.
down here?
Okay.
77385.
I will get in touch with him and advise him that at this point,
It's not.
his idea is not something that we are in agreement with, but
In
he's
total.
welcome to.
In total, yeah.
Yeah, we're not in agreement in total, but we can tell him there's some.
Certainly a
possibilities.
butterfly, hummingbird area that would attract, you know, things like that, that would be great, along
Okay.
with his benches, and then we can, you know, get down to a little harder conversations about any type of structure.
Okay,
But maybe that is a good compromise, if that's not in the flood zone, it already has
Actually, if you
parking.
think about it, if you did something, and you did put it like on the tee box on one, it could actually augment the pool that we've got there, you know, as CIA's running, but it would augment that, and maybe make it a little interesting.
We need to augment,
So if you had a butterfly park sitting by the pond, I mean, by the pool, it would just make it look nicer and everything
oh,
else.
right.
Yes, one, everything south of that road towards the golf course is actually within the 500 here, but everything north of the road going to the clubhouse is outside the floodplain. But a whole 6 is in the 100 year.
okay,
Where he's talking about.
okay.
What road?
The one leading up to.
Country Club
The country
Drive.
club.
Country Club Drive?
Yeah, so everything south of that road where that putting green is and stuff, a lot of that's in the 500 year.
You mean the chipping green?
Yes, chipping.
Okay. All right, so I'll get in contact with him. Another issue on the park is, it was touched on earlier, is getting water into the pond. And I'm in favor of us going ahead and get some water in the pond, whatever we gotta do to make that happen. So if any, I don't know that we made a motion last month to do anything about the water or not, but I'd like to entertain a motion for going ahead and doing the work to get water into the pond on a regular basis.
I think, I would like to see you at least look at the possibility of tapping in there where, what am I trying to say? On the west side of Stonewall Jackson. Cause I know there's a big leak that was down there when the, somebody hit with backhoe, and it was like a 4-inch line down there that they were hitting.
I'll look at the map a little bit closer.
Huh?
I'll look at the map a little bit closer. But yeah, we don't have to do any directional boring, that'd be the best option.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, like I said, it'll just be time and materials.
Well,
we'll
like
be
I
on
said, I
schedule.
remember about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, but when they were digging, they hit, and I went and looked, there was a 4-inch main, it was flowing like nobody's business.
Now, it does kind of ring a bell too, because the two irrigation taps that we did for the Charleston irrigation were on that side of the road too.
Mhm.
A little bit further down this way, but
You
I'll
know,
look at the map a little closer and then we'll get it on schedule.
And we could save a lot of money if you don't have to do any directional
Yeah,
boring.
I don't wanna approve it unless we have a limit on how much.
Uh-huh.
we would
That's
do.
what I was gonna ask for, was for maybe a budget amount,
Yeah, it'll be time material, and then
which,
we're typically anywhere to where we're like 3,500 bucks.
We could set a limit like that.
so maximum 35, you think?
I'd hate to I don't know if she's gonna answer right now, but our tap department can tell me. We're just thinking, what, maybe a 1-inch line, 2-inch line?
I don't know what size
Does
it needs to be.
big?
I think a 1-inch line,
Doesn't have to be big, right?
yeah.
And would that include a float of some sort, automatic?
No, we manually have to turn it on.
I think they only have like a
I think-
1-inch line feeding the big pool. wouldn't
I
it?
think a manual option is fine.
Mhm.
I don't think we need to have a float necessarily.
Yeah, that's where probably when we're getting expensive.
complicating
Turn
things.
it on.
Float's easy to do though.
Now, that is fed through the drain lines, right?
That,
The pond,
yes.
so this would only be when we have.
When we have droughts and, like right now, we haven't had much rain.
You guys
Yeah,
have
it's
a
starting to
cap on
happen.
that, you get the backflow, right?
Yes. Yeah, we'll have backflow there on this one.
Yeah, we haven't had much rain and it's starting to show
Yep,
in the
and you can
pond.
tell the fountain's kind of struggling right now.
Yeah, it is.
It is,
When you
Okay.
burn that thing up, then you end up spending more money.
right.
How about one of you guys decide, and I'll get with my tech department in the morning and I can get you an exact number.
I'm ready for somebody to make a motion.
I still feel like we ought to have some
You can make
budget.
You can make a motion where you two can have, subject to approval power, not to exceed 5,000,
4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Whatever, whatever it is.
Okay, I make
The
a,
same.
I make a motion that we have a tap to provide water service into the pond with a budget not to exceed 4,000.
Okay,
It would include the cost of materials, Mary was saying.
Second it.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we've got a $4,000 budget for Mario to get the information that we need.
But you don't have to use it all.
Yeah, we don't want to use it all.
No, okay.
Okay, good.
You had to bring it up, Tom.
Well, we were all thinking.
Scratch that. I'm just kidding.
Okay, and I think that's everything for the park. Does anybody else have any comments about the park?
We'll probably talk about it in my part, but the irrigation contractor, we're meeting with them tomorrow to discuss kind of everything that goes into that maintenance.
Right,
So we'll have some feedback for January, hopefully can start that off
okay.
for the new year.
And we're at the point now where they're just cutting it once, the grass is just getting cut once a year, once a month, due to the contract that we have with them, so they're just doing it once a month. All right, that takes care of everything for the park. And now the operator's report,
All right.
agenda number 5.
Everybody should have a copy of your November report. And connections of 975 with 34 vacancies. Revenues totaling $82,127.43. We have a billed consumption of $8,601,000. A pumpage of $9,462,000, and 93% accounted for this month. We did have one leak repaired. Collected our 6 bacteriological samples, all came back good. Just below that, we have our wastewater treatment plant numbers. Everything's working within parameters, no excursions or breaches to report. And the plant operated at 49% of its permitted capacity. We did have a total reuse of a little bit of 4 million gallons, total revenue of $1,365.20. We have our age receivables and your consumption chart below that. Following page, water production accountability report, 93% for the year and 93% for this month, and the 2 charts reflecting those numbers. And final page, we have a DMR. So this is the same DMR that we reported last month, only because we're still meeting the 3rd Monday of the month. So we're just playing catch up, so next month you'll have November. And that's all I have, board, unless you have any questions.
I noticed when I called you the other day, there was some work being done at the corner of Robert E. Lee and RP.
Yes.
What's
So-
what's the story on that?
So the guys dug up and found a leak on the actual hydrant body. They were able to repair it, put it back together. There was also what we call a packing nut that's on the valve that goes to the fire hydrant. That was also repaired. It was tightened, they tightened it down, replaced the packing on it, and it was missing the operating nut. So we put all that back together. So I drove by right now. There's a little bit of water, but it doesn't look like it's from, a leak of some sort.
Just
But
residual?
I'm gonna keep eyes on it. I have Edward and Mike looking at it on a daily basis as well. So
Okay.
I'll keep you updated.
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is that the one leak that we had here? Is that
Correct.
what this
Yes.
is?
Mhm.
Okay.
The one we talked about last month.
That's the one, yes, sir.
Okay. All right, do I have a motion to accept the operator's report?
Move we accept the operator's report.
Second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right.
This next one, we might have.
Okay, the next item is the engineer's report.
Alrighty, guys, first item on my list is the permit, the stormwater quality management plan. That plan has been submitted to TCQ and a copy has been uploaded to the website. Water plant number 1, we're requesting authorization to submit the TCQ packet on your behalf. This is just extending that 5-year timeline that you originally had on that well, just to kind of keep it in standby mode. For the design projects, the joint projects, the emergency repair has been completed. We have had application number 1 in the amount of $266,760 that we recommend payment.
Is there any way for that to use some of the FEMA money
Yeah.
for that?
No, so we're gonna try to back calculate into the FEMA money as we do the FEMA project as well, but it also comes out of the capital projects fund, so it's not coming out of the general operating as well. So there's some, because you guys originally sold bonds because we weren't sure how the FEMA was gonna go, you have all of the money for the FEMA projects technically in capital projects as well, so that will be reallocated as we do the FEMA project. Speaking of that, we received 7 bids. Top Star Construction was the low bidder in the amount of $1,140,909. Currently, we're evaluating those bids and we're sending all the bidding information to the FEMA representative for Texas to just verify everything to make sure we're in
So
compliance.
if I understand this right, that's not gonna fix everything, right? Because some things have happened since.
That's gonna fix everything. That 1,145,000, so the way we broke it out was, we went through that ditch and we said, okay, we know what FEMA's gonna give us, we know it needs to be repaired, and so the way we broke it out was, this is the FEMA portion of the repair, this is the portion just because it's been neglected for that many years, and so that's the price overall, which is a really good price.
How much is FEMA giving us?
FEMA has allotted 1.2 million in funds. Now, they are only gonna pay for their items, so, we did it based off of a cost estimate, so they're paying for the repairs. So if there's 40 cubic yards of concrete that need to be fixed, and FEMA allotted for 20 cubic yards, they're paying for that 20 cubic yards, and you pay for the additional. So, and then you split that 50-50 with East Plantation. So, But we're evaluating those bids, and we'll have the recommendation of award in January, and then we'll get going on that project as soon as possible.
Do you have any idea when they can tell people? That's the big question I get asked all the time.
I would wait till the January when we actually recommendation award, and then we're probably 2 months for them mobilizing. But since we're taking a little extra time to vet the contractor, because we've not worked with them before, I would hold off until that point, but we'll have contracts and things, everything ready to be executed at your January meeting. So we'll issue a notice to proceed, and it'll probably take a month for them to mobilize and get ready, depending on the weather.
So we're looking at a spring recovery probably?
Yeah, the goal will be to be completed by hurricane season.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I mean, they'll move fast.
That would be fast,
Yeah,
very fast.
yeah. I mean, they know they have a short window to, do the repairs until we get a bunch of rain again, so.
Okay.
That's all gonna be the dependence, but it'll start from the very top and work its way down as it goes. Contractor completed the fourth quarter cleaning for December. I sent attached photos. I apologize, I meant to attach those to the email. It's a big file. We do have attached pay application in the amount of $23,500. Carl brought up some concerns. I'm gonna revisit those, and I'm gonna hold on to that check
Yeah.
to ensure.
So what, I think this is an ongoing thing. I don't think they're doing one section. And
Okay.
maybe, can we have operations check it the day
Certainly.
that they finish it, just make sure that they get
Yeah,
the whole
certainly,
thing done?
certainly.
And-
Yeah,
and-
I mean-
And that they're filling the holes.
Yeah,
along
the
side.
concern is just how fast silt comes back in with the next rainstorm. And I agree with you, there needs to be some sort of clarification as to, okay, this day it's clean, and if next day it's silty, well, at least we knew, it was clean when it's clean.
Right,
But yes, we will definitely look into that.
yeah, I never saw it clean in
Okay.
that spot.
Yeah, so I'll look specifically at that point, and I'll coordinate with his guys, since they're always in the district, to just check in on it, what's going on. Next item, wastewater treatment plant rehab. So we actually had pay application number 9, the amount of $70,100, and pay application 10 and $201,000. I apologize, I have those mixed up. But Tiffany had them correctly on her report, which, thank you. For the 703 Fairway Oak storm sewer failure, so this is the one where we keep having sinkholes pop up. That we did the repair. Now, when we did the repair, there was a concern that there's 2 major pine trees that were up against the sinkhole. And in hindsight, we probably should have taken them down. The resident was being difficult. Those trees have died now. They're pretty bad, and the resident wants them taken down. I'll be honest, we did a lot of work around the root system and things like that, and this does happen on occasion, and so the contractor gave me a price for $10,000 to remove both of them. I don't know if J&K can do it cheaper. If you give me their number, I can reach out to them.
Okay.
I don't think so.
But that's about.
It's pretty expensive.
They're very large. I mean, they are very large, and I just don't know the process, because it's not like you can fail them over and then cut them down. They're gonna have to be cut down in stages all the way through.
Sure.
So, I don't mind reaching out to J&K first thing in the morning and seeing
Okay.
what he can do, if he can
I'll
do
send
it.
it to you.
Okay. Nothing new on the Cornerstone Church for Mosswood Ditch Rehab. We're awaiting some solicited bids. I did talk with my team. We were waiting on a bid that was under 40,000, which is really good. The first 2 bids came in over 100,000, so that's good to hear. For the storm sewer rehab phase 2, we're gonna revisit it coming into the new year, hopefully get a better price. The one we got was pretty inflated. And then the sanitary sewer rehab phase 3, that construction is underway. So you'll see those trucks start mobilizing in the neighborhood. There was a manhole failure at 473 Richmond Park. So MOC provided a proposal for Right Solutions in the amount of $34,905. So what happened was they had a line blockage right there at 473 Richmond Park. They jetted the line, sanded it, but in the meantime, the brick manhole was completely just gone, essentially. And so they kind of sealed it off as best they could, and I said, hey, can we wait till the meeting, because it was a substantial price, but I would recommend moving forward with that. And that can be paid out of capital project funds as well. It was not on our repair list for this round, so. And then,
Can I pause you for a
Yes,
second?
sir.
Are you needing, so you're asking for approval for that then also tonight?
yes.
Okay, okay.
And then
That's-
lastly, I kind of heard through the grapevine, there was a sinkhole at Terra Park and River Plantation.
Oh, yeah.
MOC, you guys were televising it?
Yes,
And so
so
we-
last I heard is we're gonna televise it because when we went back, county actually packed it in pretty good. So it's not taking on any more water. So we're gonna televise the lines that run in the area to see exactly what's causing it. But,
But that hole's still opening up again now.
is it?
When you drive over it,
Yeah.
you hit it just right,
Mm-hmm.
it's a big chug hole.
Is it under the, so it's under the pavement?
So I just met with the contractor that does our televising just before this meeting, and they're gonna send the van out here in the morning, so
Okay.
we'll get it televised first thing in the morning.
Okay, so,
I don't know what those barrels are doing there because they're not blocking it.
Yeah, they're like just telling you.
Decoration.
Yeah,
part of the Christmas.
Yeah,
I guess it's there where
Put
it
some
said
lights
there's
on.
a bump.
That's all I have on my report.
okay.
There are a couple items for approval, I can kind of run through that list if you like. The request authorization to submit the TCQ packet for water plant number 1. You guys have pay application number 1 for the emergency repair in the amount of $266,760. You have the East Dish maintenance in the amount of $23,500. You have pay applications 9 and 10 for the wastewater treatment plant, $70,100 and $201,000. And then you have the manhole failure at 473 Richmond Park in the amount of $34,905. But I'm sure Davis has expertly crafted into an approval.
He's been quiet today.
I at least got a laugh out of him.
I got it.
All right, so, is that all you got?
That's all I have.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion to accept the engineer's report?
Make a motion to accept the engineer's report.
Okay. I got a second, and all in favor? Okay.
There we go.
All right, and then the next item on the agenda is the engineer's contract
You know,
for,
we need to approve the,
There are two requests.
oh, I'm sorry, there was 2 requests that we need to cover for the
Yes.
engineer's report.
That's a check.
There were a couple that we got covers, but,
And that was for,
which, I'm sorry, I missed the one y'all did.
Well, we just approved your report, but not the two
pay
requests.
application.
Yeah, you could subsequently, lump them all together, all the pay applications, because you guys also approve them in the bookkeeper's report when you got the check, so it's kind of a double whammy there.
Okay.
The only other one is that, good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, my assumption was that in approving the report, that you were also approving the action items, but if you'd like to vote on those separately, then you certainly can.
No,
covers
if
it.
that's
It
acceptable.
covers it, it's covered.
As long as we're
Okay.
acknowledging that we're
Yeah.
approving that within the approval of the report, that's fine.
Okay,
Okay, sounds great.
all right, and then the next item is the engineer's contract for 2026.
Yes, sir. So I passed out a revised rate sheet that you guys can take a look at. So across the board, we're going up about 10% on average, roughly $10 across the board. For that, we have some supporting information below as far as we do subscribe to the ACEC survey, which is a survey of all the engineering firms in Texas, trying to just stay in the average there. Just the cost of employees is going through the roof. There's a bit of a hiring competition all the way across the board for civil engineers right now. Short supply and large demand. So if you guys have any questions on the rate specifically, the contract on the other end is with Davis's firm. They're reviewing it for a couple of other our districts as well, and so we're kind of waiting on them to give us all the legal jargon they need in there.
my first question on the contract is you have mileage is government rate plus 10%.
Mhm.
I've never heard of any company ever doing that, and it seems strange that you would do that, because then you're gonna have to pay that as income. That extra 10% becomes income. It seems like an accounting nightmare. I don't know why you.
So we
wanna
don't
do
charge
that.
for mileage at all. Actually, I don't know why we continue to keep that in our contracts, to be honest with you. It was in the last one as well. Our standard policy for it, the reason we put that in there is because we have had instances where, I tell people this example, I had a district that wanted me to drive to Mississippi to inspect a generator. That was the one instance I've ever charged the district mileage, and it was because it was such an insane request. at their behalf to do it. We don't believe in nickel and diming districts. We don't charge for prints, we don't charge for mileage, we don't, so if you'd like me to remove that from the contract, I have no problem with that.
Where is that? I don't even see that on.
It's part of
It's in the contract, not here, it's in the
Oh.
contract.
Yeah. I think it's in the back. Yeah.
Okay, and then how do these increases come about? How do they figure 12% for clerical and 2% for engineer 4? And what number engineer are you?
I am actually a principal.
You're
I'm currently the vice president.
but how did you come up with these numbers?
So they're all based on the ACEC survey, so this is just kind of trying to bring them up to the average of the ACEC survey across the board, and that's why they vary. It was about a $10 increase across the board since 2023, and so the varying rates, the varying percentage increases are just in relation to the current versus the proposed, but on average it was a $10 increase across the board. They just obviously look bigger in some places because $10 on top of 80 is a lot more than $10 on top of 90 or something bigger.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody had a chance to review it?
I brought this up last time. Is there any special training, certification, anything like that for clerical administration work?
For clerical,
Mhm.
they do all of our, the clerical specifically is mainly our receptionist. She does all our filing and things like that.
Man,
That's a good job.
it's a good job, and when you compare it with an engineer one, they're better off than engineer one, because the engineer had to get their education and so forth, and it just doesn't look, comparatively, it doesn't look right.
So that's how we've been across the board since I started.
And can you give me some kind of idea of what we're mostly paying for? Is it mostly principal engineering, or is it 1, 2, 3, 4, or?
For the most part,
Clerical, are we getting-
where you're paying is going to be on the engineer 4 and engineer 2 level. I'm very, obviously, I do charge the district as things come up and stuff, but as far as like the day-to-day projects and things, I'm more of just a QA, QC, making sure things are moving forward. On average, when I've looked at the hourly across my districts, they've gone up, $1,000 on the $10 increase as far as the general budget. Obviously, it varies from project to project, but most of our projects are not hourly. They're going to be a lump sum based off of the fee curve.
Okay.
So,
Why are the project people so high, 15% increase?
project representatives, it's very hard to get people in that field right now for inspectors and things like that. And all of our inspectors actually fall into the project representative 3 because they've been there for 15 plus years. We do have one new project representative number 1, but it's just it's a hot job on them right now. Trying to stay competitive.
You looking for some retired guys?
Certainly. Send me the resume.
Okay. So do we have any other discussion we want on this?
Are we is there room for negotiation here?
I mean, you can say no, and we'll have to, take it back to the office, but overall, you're always welcome to shop other engineering firms, but these are our rates that's going forward. That's what we're proposing.
It's just a lot for 1 year.
I can understand, the last time we did was 23, so, and that was going into 23, so, proposing these in 2022, so it's a good, 2.5 year time gap between them.
That's true.
Historically, we haven't done it year over year, but it's something that we're looking into because of the feedback we've gotten from our boards to say, we'd rather see you 3 or 4% increase year over year, then, you know, and that's why I tried to kind of indicate for looking at the consumer price index, it is about a 12% increase since 2023.
I had another meeting this morning, if it's any consolation there, the engineer does go up every single year, and it was still 9% increase. So,
9% over 3 years, or
no, every year.
Annually?
9% from 1 year?
From last year to this year, they go up every year.
I can tell you, and this is not just to toot our own horns or anything like that, we see a lot of engineering firms' fees, and we are some of the lowest in the industry.
Well, you want to keep that up.
We're still, sadly, we are still keeping it up with this rate increase. We were just trying to come up to the average, you know.
Okay. Do I have a motion to accept the rate changes for 26? Or not?
I make a motion, we accept the rate changes for 2026 from Vogler and Spencer Engineering.
Okay, do I have a second?
I second. Thank you.
All in favor?
I,
Aye. Okay, it passes.
Just barely.
Skin of my teeth.
An inch or a mile.
All right, item number 8 on the agenda, violation of district rules. Public hearing for violation of district rules and damage to district property, assessment of penalties. Is that you, Paul?
Yes, and I'm happy to report we don't have any this month.
Okay,
Merry Christmas.
wonderful.
And I guess we don't need an executive session either.
Executive session, I'm guessing we don't need, is exactly right. I can't think of any
Right.
topics. Anything, Davis, that you've got, or Paul?
Nothing here.
Yep, no, sir, not at all.
Merry Christmas.
Wonderful.
Okay, any pending business that we've got that we need to discuss?
Time to set the next, we're
Think
going
we're
to
in-
meetings till Monday, right?
Monday.
Yes, the third Monday of the month, which would be,
The 19th.
okay?
Right, which is MLK Day. I don't know if that affects anything, but it is a federal holiday. In case that is important.
You guys are working.
I'll be working. I'm always
Yeah.
working.
Tiffany, you be working?
Yeah, we talked about it. It actually catches us
Maybe
in
you
January and
take off
February,
for
but
No,
we finally got a
The week off.
meeting
System
date
makes it
that we
closed, I didn't-
can kind of keep
Right.
consistent, and so I think we're
We
just
still do
Okay.
gonna
wires that day,
Okay.
but we still stay open.
try and roll with it.
More safer than
Perfect.
you think.
I'll be there. I'm always working, so.
Okay,
So the 12th, right?
What day?
19.
19th?
19.
19.
All right, and pending the signature of checks, do I have a motion to close the meeting?
Move we, close the meeting.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, thank you.
Aye.